Toronto home sales volume was down 27.4% year over year from February of 2024 to February of 2025, and active listings were up 76% year over year. But that doesn't tell you the whole story of exactly what's going on in the market. So make sure to watch until the end of this video because I'm going to break down 27 sold properties in the West End of Toronto since February 1st that have gone a significant amount over asking in multiple offer and bidding war situations. So let's get into it. Hello, everybody. It's Alex Drobin with Remax. I help people just like you buy and sell real estate in Toronto. If you get any value from this video whatsoever, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, just put them in the comments below. Now, let's get into this market update. First off, sales. Sales were down 27.4% year over year from February of 2024 to February of 2025. Now, I think a lot of this has to do with the tariff announcements, whether they're going to put in the tariffs, not put in the tariffs. I feel like a lot of people are a little bit hesitant to pull the trigger on buying a property or selling a property just based on these announcements. There's a bit of uncertainty right now. I did a whole video on tariffs, so you can take a look at it. I'll link it right here. But I think that this could be a good thing for the Toronto real estate market to a certain extent because honestly, people that are buying properties in like the $1 million to $2 million range aren't really worried about their jobs. And I think the number one thing that will come with tariffs is that lower end jobs might be lost or, taken away for a certain amount of time. So I think like in general, because the interest rates are set to come down drastically due to these tariffs, like I said before, BMO has predicted that the rates are going to come down 6 times in a row. That I think that, overall prices are probably going to go up slightly in 2025. But right now, the sales volume is down 27.4% because people are just uncertain and there's a ton of stuff on the market to choose from. So people aren't making decisions as quickly and there's a lot of properties that are just kind of sitting on the market. Another wild number for you because active listings are up 76% year over year from February of 2024 to February of 2025. What does that mean? It means that a lot of sellers are just kind of sitting on the market, waiting to get the price that they want, or in a lot of these situations, people that were trying to sell in late 2024 ended up relisting their properties in January and February of 2025. So these active listings are up drastically because that wasn't happening in 2024. Now, again, this is all very neighborhood dependent. I'll get to what I mean by that at the end of the video because in the West End, where I specialize, Bloor West, High Park, Roncy, Swansea, The Junction, Babby Point, we've had 27 sales since February that have gone a significant number over asking in bidding war situations. So 76% more active listings year over year doesn't mean that a property that is, well marketed, well promoted, is in a nice area and, is actually a nice listing won't sell really quickly. For the most part, it'll still sell within 7 days. But 76% more active listings. If you're looking to buy a property right now is a really good time to start. And just because people have a lot more negotiating power at this point, 76% more active listings means that there's a ton of other places to see. A lot of that is in the condo market. If you're looking to purchase a condo, I think right now is a really good time to get started because if these rates start coming down the way that everyone's projecting them to, I think the condo market might have a bit of a bounce back within the next year or so. But again, that's very difficult to say just because right now there are just so many condos on the market. The average Toronto home price came down 2.2% year over year from February of 2024 to February of 2025 and is currently sitting at $1,084,000. Now, again, this is because buyers have a lot more to choose from. There's a lot more inventory that's kind of sitting on the market, so people have a bit more negotiating power. Now, again, if you're looking into those entry-level neighborhoods or secondary neighborhoods, not in the Forest Hills, the Bloor West Villages, the Lawrence Parks of Toronto real estate, then you can get a bit of a better deal on a property right now. And again, this is all very neighborhood dependent because in most really, really high-level neighborhoods, prices have stayed fairly steady. The average days on market have gone up 12% from February of 2024 to February of 2025. And right now, on average, it takes 28 days to sell a property in Toronto. Now, again, this really fluctuates month over month, but in general, if you're in a neighborhood with a property that's super desirable, you're going to get multiple offers and that probably will sell within 7 to 10 days. Now let's get into the sales and average price by every major home type, starting with the detached market. The average price of a detached home in the 416 is $1.782 million, which is actually up 7.6% year over year. The craziest part about the detached market was that there were 27.1% less sales in the 416 from February of 2024 to February of 2025. And that just means there's a lot less supply for people to look at when they're looking at a detached property. And that's why these numbers came up. That's why the sales price came up 7.6%. If you don't have as much to look at, people are bidding on certain properties. And like I said in the beginning of this video, lots of places that are in great neighborhoods, especially on the detached side, are still getting crazy multiple offer situations and are going for significantly over asking price and most of the time slightly over market value. So if you're thinking about selling your detached home, maybe downsizing to a condo or something like that, give me a call or send me a message. I'll help you every step of the way because right now might be a great time. There's a very small amount of supply of good detached homes in the 416, and you could get a really good deal on the condo, so you could end up winning on both sides. The average price of a semi-detached home in Toronto in the 416 in February of 2025 was $1,275,000, which was actually down 3.5% year over year. Again, the semi-detached market keeps fluctuating between like 1.15 million and 1.4 million, depending on what month we choose. But one thing I know for sure is that there's a lot more attention on the semi-detached market since the new mortgage rules came in on December 25th. I don't know if you watched my video with Dave Thompson, because now you actually don't need 20% down to purchase a property for up to 1.5 million, whereas before December 15th, you need a 20% down to purchase anything over $1 million. So I think the semi-detached market is the most affected by that. Now, having said that, there have been 19.4% less sales in the semi-detached market year over year from February of 2024 to February of 2025. So again, I think this is all because of the uncertainty with the tariffs. People don't know what's going to happen with the market. And some people are choosing to take a bit of a break, take a bit of a step back to see exactly how this is going to play out. Now, again, for those people, I fully understand. But on the other end of the equation, I think the best deals are happening right now. A couple of my clients bought a couple of really nice houses over the last couple of weeks just because you can get a really good deal on a property because the sellers are a little bit uncertain as well. The townhouse market. The average price of a Toronto townhome in February of 2025 was $1,028,000, which was actually up 5.6% year over year from February of 2024 to February of 2025. The townhouses are back up over $1 million. The price of this home type honestly fluctuates the most. Townhouse prices fluctuate the most, like even month over month. Last month, I think we were at like 950. The month before that, we were at 900, and now we're back up over $1 million. So the townhouse market is a strange one because there are so many different types of townhomes in Toronto. Obviously, you have freehold townhomes where you don't have to pay condo maintenance fees. You have other freehold townhomes where you still have to pay a parcel of tied land fee, a POTL fee. That's kind of like a condo fee, but it's still considered a freehold. If you want any clarification on townhomes and what their fee structures are, just give me a shout. I can go through that with you. But yeah, the average price of a Toronto townhome is $1.028 million, up 5.6% year over year. This is for all those people that were maybe looking on the $800,000 mark to up to $1 million mark before the December 15th mortgage rate changes. And now they're like, you know what? We can afford a bit more money. Let's reach a little bit. Let's buy a townhome. So the average price came up 5.6%. And again, the sales volume was actually down 23.9% year over year. I have to stress this. If a property is listed well, marketed properly, and is in a nice neighborhood, you will sell for top dollar no matter what, because people who are buying properties, like I said before, between that million and $2.5 million mark, aren't really worried about job security nearly as much as people that are buying, between $500,000 and $700,000, for example. So I think that's the reason why a lot of these places are still getting multiple offer and bidding war situations, and listings in neighborhoods that are not as desirable are definitely struggling a little bit. The condo market. This one's always a doozy. The average price of a Toronto condo in February of 2025 was $724,000, which was only down 0.5% year over year. And the sales volume came down 17.4%. Now, again, people are just not buying condos right now. Like, condo sales volume is down 17.4%. And there are just so many condo listings on the market that I think a lot of people are just kind of holding off completely from buying any sort of condo. Now, again, I think this makes sense to a certain extent. But then if you look at it from the other end and the mortgage rates start coming down, I think you're going to see a lot more condos selling at decent prices. There's so many condo listings all over the city. Most of these condos are either reducing their prices or being taken off the market and, relisted a couple of weeks later. So the condo market is definitely still taking a hit, and we still haven't seen what's actually happening because there just are not enough sales to, give accurate numbers and accurate information. Now, as promised, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go over 27 sold properties since February 1st that have gone significantly over their asking price and multiple offer and bidding war situations. Like I said before, it really depends on where a property is, but if you're thinking about selling your property and you're in a great location, if the property's marketed correctly, it will sell for a big number, usually over that market value of what you want. And this is because people that are buying properties between like that $1 million and $3 million mark aren't worried about their job security as much. So let's get into these properties. So here we go. There are 27 properties in the west end of Toronto. So again, Bloras Village, Roncy, Swansea, the Junction, and some Babby Point properties that have sold over the last month, just over a month since February 1st, that have gone significantly over asking. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about who's listed these properties. Again, some of them were sold by us or purchased by us, our team, so I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, but I just want to show you exactly what's happening in the market because I think there's a lot of fear mongering going on right now, and people are just really worried about stuff. But I just want to show a real time example of, the fact that a lot of these places are still selling for significantly over asking. And, a lot of buyers are still out there. Like I'm working with 10, 15 buyers right now to purchase properties. So let's start off. 19 Brad Street. This was sold in 8 days. There was it was listed for $700,000, sold for $151,000 over asking. This happened on February 20th. 512 Quebec. So this was listed at 900 grand, sold for 1.07 million, $171,000 over asking, February 11th. Let's keep going down. 360 Pacific. So this was listed at 949, sold for $1.1 million, 6 days on the market. 582 Willard, right? This was listed at 948, got multiple offers, 7 days on market, sold for 1.105 million. Maybank, $40,000 over asking. 90 Brookside was listed at 999,000, sold for 1.15 million on a bully offer the same day it came out. 25 Jerome Street, they had a listing, they had a presentation yesterday, and a bunch of offers came in 8 days on the market. It was listed at 1.099, sold for 1.185 million. Again, significantly over asking. This is right now. This is literally 2 days ago on March 5th. 104 Runnymede. This place was listed for 985, no parking here. It had an offer date, sold for 1.225 million, which is again $240,000 over asking. I'm not going to get into all of these, but I just want to show you a few more. So 855 Windermere, there was another one here, semi-detached 2-story. So this was listed at 1.099 million. They had multiple offers in 4 days. It sold for 1.325. 26 Innisfree, this actually sold yesterday. So they had an offer date yesterday. It was listed for 1.3 million, 7 days on market, multiple offer situation, sold for 146. This place actually didn't have a kitchen, funny enough. Clendenin, this was another big one, listed for 1.4, had an offer date situation, multiple offers, sold for 1.6. This one was very interesting. So a good friend of mine sold this, a 310 Indian Grove, 7 days on the market. They listed it at 1.4 million. They had 11 offers on this property, and it ended up selling for 1.701 million. 62 Morningside. This is one that we sold. 8 days on the market. We listed it at 1.5. It sold for 1.75, so $250,000 over asking. Abbott, this sold on a preemptive bully offer. A lot of people didn't get to see this one, but it was listed at 1.55 million. It sold for 171. Let's keep going. Some of the most recent ones. So my clients really like these two. So this one here, 126 Evelyn. This was listed for 1.579. They ended up getting a preemptive bully offer. This had an offer date. They got a bully offer when it was 2 days on the market, and they ended up selling for 1.831 million. So again, that sold $250,000 over asking. 97 Armadale in Swansea, same situation there, listed for 1.688. multiple offers. There were 7 or 8 offers on this property, and on the offer date, there was a bidding war. It sold for 1929. 148 Indian Road, same thing. 881 Windermere. This is another situation where they had a offer date, so 1.999 million. 8 days on the market. It ended up selling on the offer date for 2.19 million. So again, that's almost $200,000 over asking. Glenwood, so 46 Glenwood. Glenwood's an incredible street. It's one of the nicest streets in the West End of Toronto. This place was listed at 2.099. They had 7 or 8 offers. I can't remember. There was a bidding war situation, and it sold for 2.45 million. So this literally happened. When did this happen? That was 2 days ago, March 5th. Like everything I'm talking about, this 881 Windermere was March 5th. So this was February 20th. So everything that I'm talking about has happened within the last like few weeks after these tariff announcements, after everything happened. So another one, 26 DeForest Road. So this one, we had it listed for 2.398 million. We had multiple offers on it, 8 days on the market. It sold for 2.588 million. And then 19 Dacre, this was another one, listed for 2.985, sold for 3.03 million. 4 days on the market with an offer date situation. So there you go. I just wanted to do that to show you guys that a lot of these places that are listed correctly, that are marketed, in the West End, I could go into Lawrence Park, the same thing's happening there. Forest Hill, same thing's happening there. Riverdale. These prime neighborhoods are still getting multiple offer and bidding war situations, and places are selling for really high numbers, usually over market value or, right around market value. So if you're interested in selling, give me a call or send me a message. I'll share the step-by-step process we do to get you the most money possible. I have about 10 listings coming within the next few months, so look out for those. If you're looking to buy something in the West End or, honestly, any of the neighborhoods that I just mentioned, give me a call or send me a message. Usually I get people on a 15-minute buyer consultation to kind of go over exactly the way that it works, and then we go from there. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you've got any value from it whatsoever, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Have a great day.